So, one morning while I was preparing to ride my bike, which is in my room, I was searching for an album to listen to. Most of the time when I hop on the bike, I like to just listen to entire albums, since I like to ride for quite a while. Getting that blissful exercise in while jamming out to some great music. Nothing like it. Well, this morning, and many prior mornings to this one, I've listened to the band Death. I've been listening to them so much the last 2 months, while working out, working, and of course painting. The band has such an extreme vibe, such profound lyrics, and a great sound. It captured my hearing canals, shuttling pure musical genius into my mind and soul. This specific morning I chose the album Leprosy by Death, which wasn't one of my favorites at the time, but the more I listened to their albums, the more I loved them. Something that really stood out to me about their albums is the art used for the covers. I particularly love Scream Bloody Gore. The album art and title alone just tickle me. And the music included really just adds to the spirit of it. The album cover of Leprosy just caught my eye and mind and mind's eye this particular morning and made me wonder, what if I drew one of my characters in this album cover? Well, that's what I did. I chose the character I have named Serena, since she wears a similar hood or shawl thingy, also because her name is Serena, which for me was a play on the word serenity when I created her, which added to it considering serenity rhymes with leprosy. I figured she was the perfect fit for this. I jotted this idea down in my phone notes, where all my silly ideas go, while I was still on the bike and continued on with my day, and I think a few days afterward. Never really thought about it again, until of course I was sitting there like a brick in my desk chair staring at a blank canvas wondering if there was any idea that I felt like going for. I read through my list and this one really just screamed bloody gore at me, so I got right to it. I snagged a reference picture of the cover, I buckled my seatbelt, spit shined the tip of my penis, put on the album and grabbed that gosh darn drawing tablet pen with my crusty dick beater and started wiggling it. The procession of this creative endeavor and spiritual journey called painting went fairly smoothly. I tried out something a little different in Clip Studio. I think the day before I started on this, I was playing around in Procreate, seeing how that program was for making art. I've used it before, but it's been about a year since then. But there's only one feature that stood out to me, that being the reference feature, which is basically just the Clip Studio Navigator, but something about it being resizable and big over the canvas really helped me out. That way I was able to zoom in and still see the whole picture off to the side, preventing me from getting sucked into the little details. I know Clip Paint has the same feature, but I never knew how handy it could really be. So while I may not have learned how to use Procreate, I learned how I can make Clip Studio better. So that's it. I recommend listening to the band Death. I recommend trying out a bigger navigator in Clip Studio. And I recommend smoking American Spirits. Thanks for your indulgence. Fuck. Thanks for your indulgence in my wicked madness. Bye.